What's up, you guys? My name is Cybersnowolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. So in the last episode, we did a showcase on LEGO Star Wars to Clone Wars, featuring some clone troopers, as well as a custom of my own. And for this episode, we're doing something a little bit different. A project that I've wanted to do for a while, but never got around to doing it, and that is LEGO Power Rangers. So as you can see, we got the Green Ranger from Batten the Sun Superpower Beatdown with Green Ranger versus Ryu, and we have the White Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, the reason why I say that this has been something I've kind of wanted to do, but never really got around to it, it was mainly because I wasn't fully, motivated at the time. It was always Power Rangers has always been a case for it's I kind of want to do it, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. And when LEGO was announcing that Ideas was potentially going to do a LEGO Power Rangers, I was excited, but then they rejected the idea, and their excuse was it was deemed too violent, which is just are you serious? You're serious? Yes. That is just stupid. So for a long time, I've been mad at LEGO for declining that idea. And, but I was still on the fence of whether or not I wanted to do Power Rangers, and it wasn't until Jason David Frank, the actor who played a Tommy Oliver in the Power Ranger series, he released a new video on a trailer for this new movie coming out called Legend of the White Dragon, and it looked very, very cool. Well, finally, it was enough for me to make me go, okay, how about we do a couple of Power Rangers, see how they turn out, and give the showcase a shot. So here was the final result. So, as you guys know the whole drill, we're going to take these minifigures one at a time to reviewing them, explain my process, why I went with this route, and then go from there. And here's even a special deal for you guys. If I receive a few comments that say hashtag #GoGoLego Rangers, then I will go back and do some more Power Ranger minifigures for the future. And feel free to tell me which Rangers you want to see. Yeah, so that way I'm not a lost chicken. So, anywho, without further ado, let's get the pedestal out and get this showcase on the road. Okay, so first up on our list is the White Ranger. I actually got this one done first before I moved on to the Green Ranger. It was a little bit tricky on doing this one. Specifically on the helmet and the chest armor, and also his trusty sword Saba, which I will get to later on in this video. But after finding some good photos on the Mighty Morphin suit, I was able to get a clear idea as to how to approach this figure. So, painting-wise, this one required the least amount of, base color paint. So, as you can see, a majority of this figure is, white. The whites, you can actually see, the original, the original base color it has, on the legs. I did a little bit of base coloring on the torso, because some paint, some gold paint accidentally got on it. But at least with this, I can actually, move his figures, and it doesn't, move his legs, and it doesn't interfere with the paintwork. That was a very good detail. I can also move his arms, and the paint doesn't come off of that. And actually the armor actually stays on, and I can even move. Okay, I know I can. Okay, there we go. Sorry, this one you gotta put in a little bit of force because he's holding his sword. But I can move both arms and both legs with little to no ease. So it's pretty. So that's pretty cool. And when actually working on the chest armor, so as you can see, there's some detailing on the back. Same thing with the shoulder pads. This actually reminded me of when I was making Kratos from God of War, because as I was surprised of how I somehow managed to create a chest armor that not only fits on the figure, but is also designed in a way for I can move his arms, and even move the head a little bit without. Actually, it's a show demonstration. I can even move the head a little bit without the armor being messed up. And the headpiece was actually something that I also had kind of a hard time doing it, but at the same time, it came out pretty good. So I especially sculpted out the chest armor in a way for where not only could the arms move, but also in a way for where the headpiece could fit on without any pieces of the armor having to cut and to come off. Granted, I did have to super glue it on just to ensure that the armor would stay on. But aside from that, this turned out pretty good. As you can see, there's also some detailing, like, on here with, like, his ankle bracelets. Same thing with, like, his wrist bracelets. The gold bands on both of his arms. The left one came out a little bit better than the right. Alright, that was a little bit weird. And as you can see, I did my best to draw out the White Ranger logo. The logo coin that he has on his chest. It's not perfect, but it does pull out the idea like, that's the White Ranger coin. Same thing with his little belt buckle. And then, of course, we got Saba. Saba, his trusty talking sword. Whoa, okay. Okay, I can't do that, so I'll do it like this. Rotate. There we go, sorry. So, as you can see, like, he's got, like, the iconic little tiger heads. Actually, we'll move this down a little bit so you guys can see it. I know it's not exactly like a tiger's head, but Saba has a very specific design, and I'm not that fully skilled for I could perfectly replicate that small tiger head, especially with the teeth. So I apologize in advance if people watching this going like, that is not a good representation of Saba. I tried my best. That's all I can give. I'm sorry. But the rest of the sword, aside from the head, the rest of the sword was kind of easy to do. In fact, now that I think about it, this actually has to be the easiest sword that I've ever made. I based off the handle. The handle originally was a butterfly sword, which is kind of what Saba is based off of. And then afterwards, like, I cut off the blade as well as the handle pieces of it, then added in like my own blade, and it came out with the final results of the sort of curved sword that gives off pretty good of the White Ranger weapon. And then adding in the detailing wise, the blade itself, like the silver part of the blade was a little bit hard, like the tip, but everything else was actually pretty easy to do, and I was amazed by that. So detailing wise, this one probably has to be one of the best swords that I did. And I didn't have to spray paint it or anything. This came out pretty good, so I'm pretty proud of it. And the helmet piece, the mask did come off a little bit weird. It wasn't lined up properly, and that's my fault. So I bent his full legs back, so you could see like some of the detailing going around from the front of the mask to a bit at the top for the helmets, and then also adding in like the rest of the detailing. I first did like the base gold detailing. Like first I drew in on the mouthpiece, and then the visor, and then drew out what the faceplate was supposed to be, and then afterwards, like after putting on the base color, went back and did the rest of the detailing for the White Ranger figure, and then in the end, this came out as the final results. So I will admit, it's not exactly pretty, but now that I think about it, I actually probably would have come up with something better than probably what Lego would have done. Like, not hating on Lego, but I'm kind of predicting that if they did, in fact, did a Power Ranger showcase, they probably would have given all the Rangers the classic Iron Man helmet with a printed face. And that works, but it's not exactly accurate. So, when looking back at it, I think that this White Ranger turned out pretty good. And I didn't include in, like his holder piece where he would stick Saba, because for two reasons. One, it would take up a majority of the leg, so it would look huge, and I don't think that'd look cool. And two, it'd be in a way for where, like, this arm wouldn't be able to bend all the way to the back, and I want this minifigure to be, like, movable, and to, like, put him in, like, cool poses, make him do, like, running, make him do, like, his kicks, his punches, all of that. So I gotta say, in the final product, this turned out pretty cool, and I hope you guys like it. Now then, let's move on to our next and last minifigure. And last up on our list is the Green Ranger from Bat in the Sun. If you're probably wondering, like, why did you choose to do this one? And short answer, this Green Ranger was awesome. When I first saw this, back in the video they did with Ryu versus Green Ranger, I thought it was so unique. How I loved it on how, like, it has, like, the original, like, Green Ranger design, but then they made modifications to it, and after seeing it, I thought it was just like one of the coolest Green Ranger suits ever, and it definitely gave me a challenge for sculpting it out. So, going through this figure, painting wise, it was a little bit trickier because I tried to come up with like this special green that was almost metallic in a way, for I combined like this holiday green that I got with some grass green, a little bit of dark forest green, and then mix it up with silver, and this came out as like sort of the final result, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, I like took that green and covered it up, with like the rest of the figure. Is it a figure? Like I used that for the base color on like the rest of the suit. Though this was a little bit harder on getting like the basic idea as to how this Green Ranger would look like, unlike the Mighty Morphin, unlike the White Ranger. So with Green Ranger here, I had to look at a lot of references on some photos that people have captured of the Green Ranger costume, of like official, of like some cosplayer designs, or like someone even did a custom action figure of it, to even going back and watching the Ryu versus Green Ranger video to get like a basic idea as to how the suit would look like. So this was a lot harder to do, but with the final results, I gotta say it was pretty cool. On the final, on getting like the final look. So, going back off of the paint, and you can see like the little Morpher belt buckle that I added on here. It's not exactly like it in the like it on the show, because it's small, and it would require like a lot of like very small detailing. He's also got his iconic dragon dagger, which was a little bit trickier to make than expected, but in the end, this came out with like the final results. It doesn't have all of its detailing because same thing again, in a little room, and it required me to make some cuts, but gives out the basic idea. You could even see for like I added in some small dots as to where he would like take up his dragon dagger. He calls it a flute, and yet when he plays it, it sounds like a trumpet. But he can take it up to his lips, play the tune, and summon his Dragon Zord, like he does in the show. And then the legs, I don't know if I can actually fully bend the legs, because you can see like some slight articulation to it, and I even sand the waist of the leg. So hang on, if I can move this arm, okay, here we go. You can kind of see of where I did some sanding on these legs to make it for where it wouldn't damage the paint, but I have no idea if I can actually fully bend them all the way, and I kind of don't want to risk it, because this minifigure was tougher to make than the other one, and I don't want to accidentally damage a lot of hard work that I put into this figure. So that was a cut that I decided not to incorporate. Alright, like, I don't want to risk it. As I've had with past figures. But all in all, it was pretty cool. And cool of how this came out. The shield, like with the White Ranger, I made it in a way that the arms can move without causing too much damage to the shield. I also had to glue it on for good measurement. Okay, why is this? Oh, wait. No, sorry, my pedestal is acting a little bit weird. But, okay, there we go, he's fully secured. But, all in all, when putting this on, I then went back and did some of the detailing work. And the helmet was a little bit weird for me to sculpt out. I made it in a way for where it's not exactly sculpted out of normally how I would do, like, clay heads. Normally what I would do is just, like, put on the clay and then sort of make, like, almost make, like, a dome on the head. With this one, I wanted to match it up with Green Ranger helmet. So I sort of flattened the back a little bit, like, sort of, like first, like, widen it out, and then flatten it, and then when it was done, it matched up pretty well as Green Ranger's helmet shape. As you can see, he's also got, this was something that I thought was really cool. He's got, like, these spikes on the helmet. I decided to paint them in, like, gold and silver to match up for where that scene in Bat in the Sun for where Green Ranger summons his dagger, and then, like, the top part of his helmet, like, armors up to that sort of metallic color. color. The visor could have come out a little bit better, like the sides of it. Same thing with the eyes. Funny little fact. In fact, for the longest time, I legit thought that the eyes on the helmet were the way how the Rangers saw. Like, I always thought that, like, the eyes were how the Rangers saw, and then, like, the visor part was their mounts. Especially on Rangers who had, like, animal helmets, like the Dino Rangers and the Wild Force Rangers. It's stupid, I know, but I was a kid back then, and I didn't know the difference. Until those special Rangers that didn't have those accessories. I then realized, oh, the visor that looks like a mouth. That's how they see. Whoops. Unlike the other, unlike White Ranger, I can't really move his head that much, unfortunately. This Ranger kind of stays more still than usual. I also added in, like, before I forget, I also added in, like, the detailing on the arms that were a little bit trickier, but I managed to pull it off, and then when it was done, it turned out pretty good. But when looking at final results, I'd say that this one's a bit more solid than the other one. Because with the other one, I can move his arms and his legs pretty well. With this one, I don't know if I can move his legs entirely without damaging any paintwork, and I don't want to risk it. At the same time, and I can kind of move the arms, but it requires much more force. And I think that's the problem with the paint, and with the paint specifically, because the paint that I picked up, it was from this place that kind of sells, like, used materials, so like yarn and pretty much scraps, and they even had some paint. The paint is still good. The paint is very good, but the way how I mixed it up with a bunch of other colors, it kind of added in, like, this. I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of added in, like, layers, and since I painted up, like, the entire arm and the sides, it's sort of like, I don't know, sort of rubs together, and it sort of messes it up. So, all in all, I do have to apply some force to get him to, like, move his limbs. But aside from that, I think this Green Ranger turned out pretty cool. I had a lot of fun doing this all in all, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, let's go on ahead and wrap the showcase up, and then begin talking about some projects for the future. And that does it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase. Okay, so this was actually a pretty fun showcase for me to do, because Power Rangers has always been, like, one of my favorites, like, ever since growing up as a kid, and then watching reruns of Power Rangers. And I even met Jason David Frank, like, years ago, like, one of my first trips to Comic-Con. It was a very fun day. And all in all, this gave me sort of a new challenge to do like detailings on, like, Power Ranger suits, armor, and especially the helmets and weapons. All in all, this was pretty fun to do. So I am planning on making, like, a white dragon ranger from Legend of the White Dragon, but I'm gonna wait until after the movie releases. So that way I could get some ideas as to what the suit looks like, the armor, the helmet, and even if he has some, like other weapons, like maybe a sword, a pistol, whatever it might be. I'm gonna wait to do that after the film is released. And speaking of Power Rangers, like I mentioned before, if you guys want me to do more LEGO Power Rangers in the future, be sure to comment below. Hashtag #GoGoLegoRanger, and which Power Rangers you want to see, and then I'll get around, and then I'll see what I can do to pull off, like, some new showcases for the future. Speaking of showcases, I recently just got done with a big project that I've been working on for quite a while now. I finally finished the last figure today. So the next episode will be revolving around that showcase. I won't say what it is, but they will contain some of the biggest figures I have made thus far. And if you haven't checked my Instagram page, I recently posted a picture for a preview on a new showcase that I'm working on for the future on a new video game coming out pretty soon. I won't say exactly what it is, but here are the hints that revolve around the game. Play your parts, guard your strings, and don't look up. If you guys know what that is, comment below, and get ready for that showcase when it comes out in the future. But anyways, if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. It really helps us work on Let's Plays, Lego projects, and really lots of fun. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share it to your friends, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, and here's top of the road. Ow! Woo! Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. When a ice moon rises.